Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today we have the Siro AI panel. And Ted, we're going to be discussing how to make winning a habit with Siro.
Sarah, you're so right. Siro is doing a lot in the industry. Want to welcome Gabe Schiffer, Customer Success Manager at Siro, to the roundtable. Gabe, welcome to the event.
Happy to be on. Thanks for having me, Ted.
We have heard so much about the great work that Siro is doing in the industry. We're seeing a lot of the impact of AI in our lives, and we've had a couple great sessions already with Siro. So, Gabe, if you don't mind, for our audience, kind of to get us started, tell us a little bit about what Siro is and exactly what you do for the industry.
Yeah, we record, analyze, and offer improvements to any customer-facing conversations that are taken, really in a litany of industries, but in this case, for fixed ops, we have seen just fantastic results across the board by creating a great system for visibility into the conversations that service professionals and others in fixed ops are having with their customers, finding their strengths, areas of improvements, and offering those little pieces of gold for people to action on and really just find massive results from those changes that we're highlighting and insights that we're showing.
And Sarah, I'm thinking about all the conversations that are had in dealership. There's probably no better time than right now to deploy Siro and to get started on something like this.
It's so true, Ted and Gabe. Customers are expecting more cohesive communication. They want better practices when they're reaching out to businesses or getting communication from businesses. And those early points in the experience really level set what the customer is going to expect when it comes to servicing their vehicle and having those in-person experiences. But one of the things that I want to touch on with you, Gabe, a lot of times there's a concern because when a dealership is implementing new technology or they're implementing processes, it can be cumbersome, and oftentimes there's a distraction between what it takes for their team to get used to a new system and setting up all those behind the scenes pieces with processes and the logic in the system. So how long does it take for fixed ops teams to get started when it comes to using Siro?
That's a really good question, Sarah. I think the main answer I would have is we are able to spin this up really quickly and we're with our customers every step of the way. So when it comes to fixed ops, it's a pretty simple process. We just need a few meetings. We'll have one meeting where we get the processes, all those base sort of special steps that are used in a service setting to ensure that we're incorporating that into their specific system. We run it past them. We make sure that everything's working, and we also ensure that we're integrated with any systems like phones for customers. And that has been set up in as quickly as a few hours for a customer, and they're off and running. We are very flexible in how we train up the teams. We have met our customers where they are. We're able to put out recorded trainings for them if they need, if they're on the fly. We know how busy fixed ops can be. So we're able to give them those materials if they need. But we're also happy to have live trainings, office hours, where if users are running into questions or they have little pieces of feedback, we're able to action on it really quickly and help them out to make sure that they're having the best experience possible. Not only that, but we're really happy to work with teams to make sure that there are the incentives correctly in place with the users to make sure that they're really getting the best experience out of it possible. And we've gotten a lot of success from our fixed ops customers in that manner.
You know, Gabe, it's so important. The average price of new cars now, I think, is at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
People are keeping their cars longer, and
Mm-hmm.
service and parts, fixed operations are very busy. And while it's all about cars, it's really all about the people, okay, and the
Mm-hmm.
communication we have with our customers. And that's where the tools that Ciro has really come into play. Uh, from what you've seen, Gabe, what business impact has Ciro had on fixed ops departments?
Yeah, it's been frankly really massive. We've, with one of our customers, seen impressive results. So we started our implementation at Berman Auto Group in the end of January, where they had over 2,000 cars come in. where they ran service appointments. And in that month, they made roughly $500,000. And come the next 2 months, as users got more and more comfortable with the usage of Siro, that became ingrained in their culture. They set up incentives for their service managers to give them the impetus to make sure that their team was recording, giving feedback, and they made this a part of their day to day. Even though they actually had fewer than 2,000, I think they had 1,900 ROs come through the door in March. They had their first ever $1 million month as well, and their RO size increased by 23%. It was a really massive, massive moment, and it just shows the impact of Siro. It was super impressive to hear.
That's incredible to hear, Gabe. And those success stories, I mean, what you're describing with the customer experience, I mean, that retention, that growth, it really comes down to the communication and the right message at the right time that the customer is receiving in that process. So, is there anything your team is building next to support fixed ops teams even better? Because it sounds like what's already in place is incredibly successful, but just curious what else is coming down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to talk to you about that. I think we already have some awesome things in place. Obviously, Base Zero is already incredibly user friendly across a litany of industries. Service has found it even more easy to use. They get it very quickly and they're very fast to adopt and understand. Like I mentioned before, we have an integration with phones. So from the second a customer pulls in to a service department to when a service professional calls them, to tell them that their car is ready or that there's other work needed or something was found out during the service appointment. They are able to record all of those different steps from front to end. And then what we're shipping next is a DMS integration for a lot of major DMSs across various systems. So not only will you get the insights from Siro, the conversation, what was happening, the various process steps that were executed, and you can dive into any specific point to listen to exactly what's happening, but you're also able to link it to that specific RO to see the various services offered, whether they were accepted, and the dollar value that was acquired from that appointment as well. So you're not only able to tie what was happening to a service appointment being completed, but to those outcomes as well, which we think is obviously the most important part of this. I can talk to the success that Berman Autos had with us with that increase of 23% on ROs, but really you want to be able to see the outcomes quickly and easily, and that DMS integration really delivers on that. So we're super, super excited to ship that. And of course, there are many more things coming down the pipeline for auto and other customers that will make this an even more impressive, invaluable tool for them in their day-to-day.
And Gabe, not only does this work, but this is an amazing coaching tool, if you could speak to that as well, because it's not just holding people accountable. We want them to get better and
Yeah.
learn from the conversations that we have every single day. So dealers that deploy Zero can really help improve their staff. If you want to speak maybe just a little bit to that, because I think nobody wants to go to training, but everybody wants to be
Yeah.
developed. And this is a tool that can really help develop people.
That's really a good point, Ted. What I'd say on the coaching aspect, it offers so many different opportunities to give visibility into where your service professionals are doing well, but also highlight those moments of growth. I think most people in service and fix ops are probably doing their job at a pretty high level and succeeding. But what we offer is those little nuggets of truth, those pieces of gold, where let's say someone pulls in to the service department and they're doing their check down, and the service professional simply is just walking through, okay, you need this, you need your tires rotated, your oil needs to be changed, you need these different kinds of services rendered, but they're not really justifying why this should be done. They're not really clarifying the need or the urgency, saying something like, hey, if you do it now, you're going to save yourself a lot of money on the back end. I know this is a high price, but you're actually saving a lot of money in the long term. And that's what Siro is able to surface to their managers and their teams. So not only can they get feedback from their manager, but other team members can listen to what the top performers are doing and hear, oh, this is how they're getting past objections. This is how they're making the customer comfortable with them. And this is how they're building rapport, which is one of the most important things in order to really highlight what people are doing well, and how people who might be struggling with certain parts of the role can improve. That's the main thing. It's not really going to be this part where every little piece is going to be micromanaged and things are going to be shot up to managers because someone didn't say the script exactly. It's focusing on a much more holistic view of the skills people are doing, like building rapport, the steps that they're executing, like checkdowns or other things, setting the timeline for when the customer might get this back, things like that, and how they're delivering it, like how fast they're talking, filler words, even the amount that they're asking the customer questions or giving them the space to speak. We're able to track a bunch of different metrics to give you awesome insight into the conversations that are being had, and allow you to use AI to apply a wider lens than you could ever before, almost consulting level executive insights to hundreds and hundreds of recordings. And that's only getting better as we go on. I have to say, I'm blown away by what our team is doing here at Siro. The insights are astonishing, and it's changed, as you can see with Berman, the impact is real.
Sarah, you always remind me that we're not just in that car business, we're in the hospitality business. I think people can get their oil changed anywhere, but it's
Mhm.
these moments, okay, that Gabe is describing that really separate the good from the great. And I don't know if you want to speak to that, but I think that makes a big difference out there in the real world.
It so does. And Gabe, this is hospitality is at the forefront of a lot of business best practices today.
Yeah, I think hospitality is a massive part. It's certainly a part of my job as a CSM at Siro. I'm here to make sure that customers' needs are being understood and dealt with, and we're able to deliver on the outcomes that we promise. I think at our current customers, that's certainly the case. But it's being mindful of what their needs are and ensuring that we're able to think ahead of what they might want in the future. Things like the DMS integration were not necessarily things that come out of the blue. We're certainly prideful of our ability to execute and think about what a customer might need, but that's from conversations with customers, asking specifically those in auto what they need and what we could do better. Things like phones and DMS are directly sprouting from these customer conversations. Their opinions are gold to us. And I think our ability to answer on that in the space of months is something that we really pride on ourselves. So not only is it already driving excellent outcomes, increasing CP hours per RO, increasing the average RO size, all these awesome, awesome things, even when the number of ROs is lower, but we're also able to just deliver on so much impact by adjusting Siro to the needs of customers, by hearing their feedback and being really agile to that. So it's something that we're really used to. And I would say hospitality is at the core of what we do here at Siro, and certainly something that we try and emphasize with our customers as well.
Gabe, last question I have for you today is I know when I was a manager in retail, I always wanted to make sure that my team, my service advisors in this case, would use the customer's name when they're interacting with them. I thought it made it more personable.
Yeah.
Are you able to program Siro so that if a dealership is looking for a specific thing such as that, that Siro is aware of that and can provide coaching on things like that and looking for that as well?
Ted, that's a really good question. Yes, we are able to do any kind of skill or name mention, things like that are very much in our wheelhouse. And that's my job, to be able to create these various systems, these evaluation systems, to understand exactly what you want to get at. We want to be able, in your case, Ted, to identify, oh, this service professional, this service advisor was able to say the customer's name repeatedly. They said it X amount of times, or if we have a certain number that we want them to hit, we can also code that in. We're able to do things like that. We're able to add specific skills. So like justifying the value of a certain service is another thing that we're incredibly used to doing. And some very niche things like asking for a donation to St. Jude. I've even had customers do things like that where they really care about charity and they want to highlight that, or talking about a referral, leaving a 5-star review. We have a bunch of different things that we're able to make sure that's custom to you, the things that you look for and the feedback that you give. So at a glance, your service advisors know, hey, I did this, I'm doing well, or these are the things I might want to focus on going forward. And those little changes are where the gold is and where we've driven such excellent results across fixed ops.
Sarah, amazing stuff.
It is. It's so exciting to hear all the innovation that Siro is really bringing to fixed operations departments and dealerships at scale. Gabe, for our audience that's listening today that wants to find out more, get started, and start the conversation, what's the best first step?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sarah. The easiest first step is just to go to Siro.ai. That's our website. Schedule a demo there. Our team is incredibly quick at getting out to you. We'd love to show you what we have, and we think you're going to be really impressed not only by the features and technology at your fingertips, but by the outcomes that we drive and just the world-changing impact that we're having in the world of auto and beyond.
Gabe, thank you for all that you and Siro are doing for the industry.
Thank you. We're really excited to see where we go. It's going to be amazing.
It's an exciting time, everybody, in automotive. Siro.ai is where you need to go to learn more about elevating your skills and your team to the next level. Gabe Schiffer is with Siro, and Siro is a big part of what's happening now in fixed operations. The technology, it's undeniable, okay, and how strong it is. So, Gabe, thanks for your time today, and appreciate you being here on the Roundtable with us.
Ted, Sarah, thank you for the time. Great to be on.
To learn more, everybody, visit Siro on the web at Siro.ai. Gabe Schiffer with Siro here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you.